Boom! Cześć ludzie! What's up, people? Hola, Vigo's Dad here. Welcome to another episode. You see, when I created this channel, I thought that the main objective of it will be to leave something behind, kind of like a legacy of sorts for my family, for my kids to watch later when they grow up, and they can hear their dad's ideas on topics that I found important at the time. Now, of course, not all the content that I create is going to be serious and all this. Sometimes it's just fun, but other times I want to talk about some things that, in my opinion, is very important that we cover, such as today's episode. 7 things that I think men should never do or say to women. If you think about it, we have never lived in a better time when it comes to the dynamic between a man and a woman. Women have never had more rights than they do today, and men have never been as aware as they are in present times when it comes to their relationship with women. But things are still not perfect. Depending the culture you come from, depending the country you come from, then your relationship with the opposite gender will vary tremendously. The first thing that I think a man should never do or say to a woman is to insult her. And I know that this sounds extremely obvious, right? Like blatantly obvious. You should not insult anyone for that matter. And I agree with you. You should not insult anyone. But if you're a man, particularly insulting a woman is just one of the lowest things that you can do. And sadly, I encounter this problem a lot more often than I would like to, especially online. You read some sort of feed on Facebook or something where there's an argument, and it's just so easy to some guys to just say to a woman,
"You are a f***ing bitch."
And it's like, dude, not only where are your manners, but who raised you? Don't insult a woman. Doesn't matter how angry you are. Don't insult a woman. Don't use profanity towards a woman. If you are a big believer of equal rights, you think I'm wrong because, man, if a guy can insult another guy, he for sure can insult a woman because, equal rights. I'm sorry. I don't believe in that type of equal rights. At the end of the day, maybe I'm too old school, but a woman doesn't deserve an insult, especially coming from a guy. The second thing that men should never say to women is that her body is the cause for anything. Hormones, period, doesn't matter.
Oh, hey, you are hormonal today. Careful with Yana here because she's got her period. Today's not a good day for us to talk to her.
No, don't do that. Yes, of course, women go through a cycle every month. Yes, their hormones are affected, but her intellect is not affected. So making any assumption that she cannot control herself just because her body is doing something that is making her act a certain way, no, is extremely disrespectful. The same thing is if you want to imply that she got an amazing job or an amazing position or a raise because she is hot or because she's pretty or because this or that. Never, never, ever imply that her body is the cause for anything. The third thing that we should not say, and I am going to admit to you guys that I make this mistake. I'm at fault here too, okay? And that is saying, I understand. When you're having an argument, you say to someone, hey, I understand you. I understand. Now, you might think, dude, that isn't such a big deal, right? Like, what if you're talking about something, you're arguing, and you do understand? But you have to think that when you are having a quarrel with someone and you tell them, hey, I understand. It feels condescending. It feels like you know better and you understand what is it that is happening over there. Now, granted, maybe you do understand what they're saying, but you can phrase it differently. But more than phrase it, just show it with your actions. If your significant other is telling you, that she's upset for something, do what you should do to show her that you understand. I cannot explain it differently. Let me ask women watching this video right now, write down in the comment box below. It bothers you, right? When you are in a heated argument and, and your boyfriend or husband or something says, I understand. It's like, if you do understand, show me. Number 4, don't stop being a gentleman. Opening doors, extending your hand out to help them stand up, pulling the chair out so that they can sit, offering an invitation, offer to pay. It goes a long way when you say to someone, wow, you look nice today. Or, oh, that's a very nice smelling perfume. What is that? And listen, I get it. We are living in the times of equal rights, and some women don't want to be treated differently. They want to have the same rights that you have, right? So they don't want you to open the door for her or something. And if that's the case, then of course just respect it. But it has never let me down to behave like a gentleman. Doesn't matter if it's your niece that's 9 years old or if it's your grandma that is 85. Just having gentleman-like behaviors, it will take you a long way. It will show people, first of all, that you care. And second of all, it will show people that you have taken the time. You have taken the time to treat them with respect. Yeah, don't stop being a gentleman. The fifth thing that you should not do is compare them to anyone. Just don't compare them to anyone. Believe me, we've had a lot of arguments, me and my wife. You know, you're having an argument sometimes and you go, yeah, you're just like such and such. It's hard. It's hard. I'm gonna admit it. It's really hard not to do it, especially because sometimes you cannot avoid seeing similarities between, let's say, your significant other and, I don't know, her mom or her sister or something, you know? But don't compare them to anyone. And even if it's not your significant other, even if it's just a friend, don't compare them. Think about it. You wouldn't want someone comparing you to anyone else, right? Let's face it. But in the heat of the moment, it's very easy to compare. You would not compare, for example, a coworker. You would not say, hey, John, you should do a better job. Look at Piotr here, you know what I mean? Be more like Piotr. So don't do it to your girlfriend or to your wife. It will not go over well. The sixth thing that I think you should not do is to let her become the center of your world. I am not saying that your girlfriend or your wife should not be one of the most important people in your life. I'm not saying that. They should. But you would lose the respect of a woman if your whole world revolves around her. Women want men to be independent. They want them to be strong, to be reliable, dependable. And when you make her the center of your reality, now all of a sudden, first of all, that's not attractive. Second of all, you are putting so much pressure and responsibility on her shoulders that she didn't ask for. She wants to be respected. She wants to be treated with care, but she doesn't want to be the center of your universe. She wants to be a very important part of it, but she wants you to be you. She wants you to take control of your life and to have time for everyone that you care for, your mom, your siblings, your friends, along with her. And if you ever encounter a relationship with a woman that wants to be the center of everything, run away as fast as possible, because a healthy person that will have a healthy relationship with you, she wants to complement your life and she wants you to complement hers, but she doesn't want to own you. And you for sure don't want to let her own you. And the last thing, that you should not do everything she asks. This ties up to the previous one very tightly. In a relationship, yeah, you're gonna sacrifice things. You're gonna do things for the other person just because you love them, because you wanna make them feel better, because you want to give them a hand. But sometimes you just have to say, hey, listen, I cannot. That is very important because you're standing up for yourself. You're standing up for your beliefs. And a woman that is emotionally healthy will understand that. She will respect it, but don't take it too far. If you find yourself saying no more than yes, then maybe you should check yourself. But don't do everything she asks. Boom! That's all, guys. That's the end of the episode. I hope you liked it. You know, I find it very empowering, the days that we're living in right now. Women have found their voice. They're making themselves heard. They're fighting for their rights. And I think men should help women fight this fight. We all can benefit from it. If I ever have a daughter, I would want her to fight for her right. And I'm going to be right there next to her, fighting this battle with her. And a big part of it is, of course, also helping men understand that there are some behaviors that we should stop. We should not perpetrate. That maybe 50 years ago, 100 years ago, were okay, but now they're not. And it's because we know better. We know the consequences. We know where the world is gonna end if we keep doing those things. But change is good. See you guys on the next episode. Adios.